has so many flakes today in his scalp. The eye was something like, if I can describe it, some closed off dried skin here. To stop doing whatever I'm doing right away, she started talking to me, pulling the dress to cover my sleeve. I just speak for her. Ingrown hairs and white heads that are stuck to strands of hair. Brushing. When it was, this is just a scalp. I got a really good white head over here. She introduced her boyfriend to Grandma. To tonight, when he was scratching his head, only her eyebrows are raised, so I'm trying to pull them out as much as I can. Good. Ingrown hair here. Guys, how pretty are my nails today? And I remember my sister kept on asking me, hi guys. Welcome to tonight's asthma session. Hope you enjoy this tingles. And do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. So, in tonight's session, I'm going to be scratching his scalp with nails, brushing, and using this tiny edges comb. I guess this is an edge comb, but I use it to scratch his head in most cases. Yeah, and also a little bit of nitpicking. So stay tuned and do not forget to turn on the notification bell to be notified each time we post some new content. So guys, today I thought since you guys enjoy a lot of the stories I tell of my upbringing and how it was being raised by my grandma in what my grandma as a parent was. I guess you can say some of the characteristics she had are the characteristics you see in most African parents. But I'm not gonna speak for everyone. I'll just speak for her. So, whenever I would go somewhere, let's say to someone's house or like to a wedding or even to church, and my grandma would see me doing something that she doesn't approve, from afar she would just call my name calmly, like in a very friendly way. Sheila, like in a very friendly and loving way. And then she would give me the eye, like the eye, if eyes could kill. The eye was something like, if I can describe it, it was something like one of her eyes is wide open and the other eye is closed, but kind of like blinking but not blinking, bordering winking but in a very harsh and stern way. So that was the eye. Whenever I would see that eye, I would know she's super mad and she's telling me to stop doing whatever I'm doing right away and behave accordingly. If, for example, I was near adults in church and playing with my friends running around, she'd call my name and not even say stop it. Just call my name lovingly and then give me the eye, and I would run and hide. Because I would know if I continue doing that unbecoming behavior, I'd be beaten at home. So I'd run and hide just to get out of, her face, or just to get out of her peripheral view. So guys, this same eye also meant thing like, I doubt everything you're telling me, but go on. It's the same exact eye, only her eyebrows are raised, like she's raised her eyebrows. I got her good ingrown hair here. It was still attached to the hair, to the one strand of hair. Yeah, so as I was saying, if she would tell me something is wrong or I've done something that's not right and I'm trying to make up a story, she would give me the eye, and I would continue telling the story even though I know she's doubting every word that's coming out of my mouth. I remember my best friend and I would joke about that. Like when she would come from seeing her boyfriend, I would tell me everything, and I would give her the eye as she talks just to let her know. I will know if you lied to me, because I already doubt everything you're telling me right now. So we would tell each other, tell me the story, but just know I am giving you the JoJo eye. The JoJo eye is my grandma eye. And in most cases, my grandma would give you that eye. You and I both know you are lying. So she wouldn't just give you the eye for no reason. Or she wouldn't doubt everything you would say. She would only give you that eye when she knows you're making up a story. If you go visit the neighbors or you go visit anyone and they offer you food, you don't accept it. You just say, oh, I've already eaten. You don't just sit and start eating at the neighbor's or at someone's house. Even if you're hungry, you're supposed to say, oh, thank you so much, I've already eaten. Even no matter how many times they ask you to, eat. Or if you're sent somewhere and you find them eating, you're not supposed to join in. It was seen as like not very good manners. if you just sat down and joined people eating. I've told you guys a number of times that my grandma is super religious. So anything that needed to be solved, whether it was beating you, she would just beat you, telling you the word of God, what it says. And then at the end of it, she would be like, I'm doing this to help you, spare the rod, spoil the child. She's quoting the Bible. So essentially everything was solved with the Bible and a stick. I got a really good whitehead over here. Guys, how pretty are my nails today? Oh, there's a nice whitehead here. I guess it already you scratched it out. I don't know if the zoom can see that. Guys, bear with me today, my zoom is really off. Our setup is not the greatest today. Yeah, there was a huge whitehead here and it just, I guess, came off when he was washing his hair, or when he was, this is just a scab, I guess, when he was washing his hair or when he was scratching his head. So, going back to the characteristics of an African parent or guardian, East African to be precise, and to be more precise, my grandma. Oh, this is a nice one. Oh, don't know if you guys can see this. I'll put it here. The camera is quite far today. Grandma liked to compare me to my fellows, like your age mates. Same class as you, like school class as you are, same age as you. Should always be like, oh, don't you see so-and-so's daughter? She's your age mate. We have that running joke in my family. We call it age mate in my mother tongue is Meru, because my mom comes from Meru. So we speak Kimeru. So in my mother tongue, Kimeru, we usually say Ndukeagu, and that's another beautiful whitehead. That means your age mates or your mates. So we have a running joke about that because it became so common because of the way my grandma used to, say it all the time. So yeah, I should be like, Ndukeagu, they're doing this and this. If for example they do better than me in school, should be like, Ndukeagu, they did this and this, and let's say Flora got these marks in school. Why did you not get these marks like her? Why can't you be like her? Does she have two heads? She has same eyes as you, same ears as you. Why does she do well in school and you don't? So yeah, East African parents will compare you a lot growing up to your fellows, people in your age group, especially if they see them do something good, even though they don't really know them. Sometimes my grandma would compare me with some very bad kids, and I would be like, in my heart, if only you know how spoiled those kids are, because they're your age mates, you probably know them more than my grandma, of course, or more than even their parents know them. was above the knees and you walked around town, you would be deemed as a spoiled girl who's just attracting men. That basically you're looking for their attention. Or you're looking to get married, so you are attracting a spouse or something. Some cluster of dried skin here. Oh, that's crazy. And just know that those times when I was growing up, if you were in primary and high school, it was completely forbidden to not even talk, just think about boys. You are not allowed to even say, I have a boyfriend, or this boy is friendly to me at home, because that would be interpreted as basically, since you're bringing him up at home, means you like him, and that was not completely unacceptable. I guess most of our parents really, they would have liked to assume that you'll only know boys and things about boys if you're a woman when you're in university, and that's the last year of your university, so that you can then bring him or her home to introduce him or her to your parents. Also, if your parents or guardian would see you with a top that was too revealing, like showing even a little bit of cleavage, wow, that would be the end of it. They would rather take it and burn it. You wouldn't be allowed to show any cleavage at all. Like, seriously. To my grandma, if you're showing cleavage, that means you're completely naked. I remember when we were much grown, like 6 years ago, we went to my cousin's wedding in Kenya. My cousin was getting married, and we went to his wedding. I took my husband, and of course my cousins were there with their spouses. 2 cousins of mine that are already married, and my sister was there with her fiance. And I wore a dress that had a cleavage. Oh my god, my grandma kept looking at my dress. She couldn't concentrate on the wedding. As they were reading the vows and everything, her eyes were just on me. She says, looking at me. I think in her mind she just thought I had committed the greatest sin. And it's crazy because after the wedding we all gathered outside, and my grandma, she started talking to me, pulling the dress to cover my sleeves. It was just a crazy attempt because it wasn't gonna work because the dress was sleeveless, showing a cleavage. It was crazy. At the end of it, I had to get a sweater from my sister and wear it because it drove her crazy to see me with a sleeveless dress showing a little bit of cleavage. So as I've been saying in most of my videos about my upbringing, your grades in school will really determine your future. If you do badly in school, that means your future will just be in the, how do I say it in a polite way? Yeah, basically your future is not gonna be good. You have to do well in school, not just be in school, not just stay in school, but you have to do well while you're there so that you can have a bright future. I've noticed that on his forehead, he has a lot of ingrown hairs and whiteheads that are stuck to strands of hair. So I'm as much as I can. The ones that I can pull out. After I left my grandma's and I, went on to university, I had to leave home, of course. When you're going to university, you're already like past 18. And you're ready to, face the world on your own. So you have to leave home and go. Probably stay at the campus that you're going to be schooling in. And you'll only be coming on major holidays back home, like Christmas, Easter. Anyway, when I was ready to go to university, my sister had to come, my young sister had to come to the village to be raised by my grandma as well. And I remember she told me that she was having such a huge fight with her grandma because she introduced her boyfriend to grandma after 2 semesters of high school. And I told her, you did what? My grandma was going crazy. She couldn't accept that my sister, it's either she wanted to introduce the boy or she had already brought him and introduced him, and my grandma was livid. My sister was raised for most of her life by my mom, and my mom was such a casual mother, casual parent. So it was such a huge culture shock when my sister went to live with my grandma, and there were some rules she had to stick by. So she didn't know it was wrong to introduce a boy. And I remember my sister kept on asking me, what did I do wrong? I just didn't want to go behind grandma's back and date anyone without telling her. And I told her, and that's the mistake right there, being honest and telling grandma I've got someone. And this is my boyfriend. That's the worst thing you can do with our grandma. Because at that point she was quite old. So for her, it's a non-negotiable to say, I'm being honest with you, I have a boyfriend, because you're not supposed to even have a boyfriend in your first year of high school. Even in your last year of high school, you're supposed to have a boyfriend in your 20s. I guess even then, she would just assume you shouldn't tell her. It was really a big problem at home. He has so many flakes today in his scalp. It's a pity that the camera won't zoom so much. And also on the issue of dating, you are not supposed to have any kind of relationship with a boy, like even just a friend, because then my grandma used to say there's no friendship between boys and girls. If she would see you standing somewhere talking to a boy or a man, she would assume the worst. Basically, if you talk to a man or a boy, that means you've gotten pregnant. To her, that means that you're getting pregnant, or you've gotten pregnant already, and you're gonna drop out of school to take care of the baby, of course. guess I'm gonna be finishing this video here today. Hope you have enjoyed